What is the worst thing you've seen a little child do? A neighbor's kid would mercilessly throw their two cats into the pool. The cats would fight and scratch, but that didn't stop the boy from flinging the cats repeatedly into the pool and forcing them to swim or drown. His father finally broke him of this behavior by throwing the kid in the pool, clothes and all, every time he caught his son torturing the cats. My neighbor's kid was burning ants to death with a magnifying glass. After a while he decided that ants were too boring, so he tried to hold down his cat burn at the magnifying glass. Remember that scene in Game of Thrones where Gregor Clegane fights a bear in Martell and pushes his eyes in to blow his head up? My mother works in a kindergarten where they accept special needs kids too. She told me one day one of the more special kids got another kid on the ground and started pressing his eyes in just like in the show. All the other kids started screaming in terror, not to mention the poor victim, and the attending adult couldn't even get him off. He was gripping his victim so hard. One of the other kids had to run for help, and they could finally get him off. Luckily the kid didn't suffer any lasting harm. I was at Boston Market. This kid smacked his mom's butt. She was like no. Then he grabbed her skirt and in one move pulled it down to her ankles. She was in shock. The store was packed too. She couldn't get her clothes up fast enough. I admired her for not running out the store though. She got her chicken and left fuming. I have two aunts on mom's side. Aunt A lost her home in a flood and they moved into Aunt B's home for about 3 months. Aunt A's family had a teacup poodle. Aunt B's son, Ax 10 years old, spent most of that 3-month period trying to kill their dog with Rube Goldberg machines. At first it was a that was weird situation, which quickly became, this child is psychotic. He started off with making an elaborate bottle rocket cannon, then threw the dog into the pool and threw cinder blocks at it, tried repeatedly to cram it into cardboard boxes, throwing tools and hardware at it from the second-story balcony. My neighbor's kid, who was about 10 or 11, used to lure stray dogs up to his porch, then would tie the dog down and stick a firecracker, those little black cats, in the dog's butt and light it on fire. The sheer yelping and screaming from the dog was horrible. Called the police and reported the kid like 1,000 times. All the neighbors hated that boy and jumped on his parents over it. His mom was a meth head, always drugged out, and his dad was a drunk and said, well, at least he isn't a terrorist and blowing up buildings. Intentionally stomped on a butterfly at a butterfly conservatory. One of my cousins tried to throw my mom's dog off a balcony. The only reason he didn't is because his brother screamed at him to out her down and then ran to get my mum. He tried to play it off that he was joking, but there's something off about that kid.